You're sitting in the back of a cave 50,000 years ago. The fire is dying, the night air is freezing, and you're preparing for a hunt. Or maybe a fight. You reach into a leather pouch and pull out a piece of red earth. It's ochre. You grind it, mix it with a bit of fat, and smear it across your face in a jagged, violent line. You aren't doing this because you think it looks good. You are doing it because you are becoming something else. We tend to think of makeup as a modern invention, a routine we do in front of a mirror before heading to work or a party. We associate it with vanity, with fashion, with a multi-billion-dollar beauty industry. But if you look at the archaeological record, you'll realize that human beings have been painting their faces for as long as we have been human. Makeup isn't about beauty. It's about signaling. The oldest evidence of human cosmetic use takes us back over 100,000 years. We found pits filled with ochre, seashells used as mixing bowls, and stones stained with deep pigments at sites like Blombo's cave in South Africa. 100,000 years ago. That is an eternity. And for our ancestors, that red pigment wasn't lipstick. It was a tactical advantage. Think about it from a predator's perspective. When you see an animal with bright, unnatural colors, your nervous system triggers an alarm. Nature uses colors to say warning, poison, or don't mess with me. By painting our faces, our ancestors were essentially hacking the predator-prey relationship. A human with a painted face didn't look like a human anymore. They looked like a creature that belonged to the spirit world, or worse, a creature that had successfully stolen the camouflage of a more dangerous beast. But it went beyond just scaring predators. Makeup was the original social infrastructure. Humans are deeply social, and group identity is the reason we survived. How do you distinguish a friend from a stranger in the dark? How do you signal that you belong to this tribe and not that one? You paint your face. You create a visual code that everyone in your group understands instantly. When you see someone with the same red lines on their forehead, you know you're safe. You know they are your allies. Makeup was the first version of a uniform. The first way we used visual technology to build trust where there was none. And then there's the psychological edge. When you put on a uniform, a mask, or even a simple line of paint, something shifts in your brain. You aren't just an individual anymore, you're a role. A shaman wearing ceremonial paint isn't just a person. They are a bridge to the divine. A warrior with war paint isn't just a hunter. They are a manifestation of the group's collective violence. Makeup gave us the ability to step out of ourselves and become something larger. The jump from sacred, tribal war paint to the modern cosmetic counter is where the story gets modern. Just like the shift from ritual tobacco to mass-market cigarettes, we took an ancient, identity-building, survival-oriented ritual and turned it into a consumer product. We replaced the ochre and fat with silicones and pigments, but the drive? The drive is exactly the same. We are the only species that decided we weren't satisfied with the body we were born with. We are the only creatures that looked at our own skin and decided it was a canvas, a shield, and a signature. We didn't invent makeup to hide our flaws. We invented it to project our power, to signal our tribe, and to tell the world exactly who we are before we even open our mouths. Next time you put on makeup, realize you aren't just getting ready. You are participating in a 100,000-year-old experiment. You are picking up that piece of red earth, just like our ancestors did in that dark cave, and you are using the oldest technology we have to define your place in the world. We've been painting ourselves to survive, to bond, and to conquer since the very beginning. We aren't just human. We are the only species that has ever dared to design ourselves.